Hello, my people. It is Anna Renee, and I am your Love Power Goddess, and I am working on the second video of today. Today, let me bless each and every one of you all on this wonderful day. It is a wonderful day. You know why? Because I am here to see it. Are you here to see this day? Then it is a wonderful day no matter what the weather is out there, okay? It's not about the weather, it's about your life, okay? It's about your life and another chance to work on bringing forth the best you that resides deep, really deep within, okay? You get the chance to try to figure out how to do this once again, okay? And if you already got it on a good high level, here's your chance to see if you can take it up a notch. Wonderfulness right there. It's a fantastic blessing to be alive these days. And so, my people, I honor each and every one of you for being here with me, okay? I know one thing, I'm happy to be here, okay? Happy for another chance. Okay, I know how those old black Christian grannies felt when they can say to the Lord, thank God for one more day. Okay, I know how they feel. Okay, because there's a lot out there. Okay, there's a lot of good out there. Okay, there's a lot of beauty out there. There's a lot of wonderfulness out there for us to grab a hold of. Grab you some goodness, some joy, some happiness, some peace, some love. Okay? Yes, my people. Be grateful for your life, okay? You have an opportunity, okay? And I am here to help us with every opportunity, okay? That is my calling. To be a service, a servant, okay, to us in helping us to grab another opportunity that is placed in front of us and try to make the most of that opportunity, okay? Take advantage of some of the beauty that God has placed here for us and use that beauty to uplift our hearts and souls and spirits, okay? Be thankful for this. I know I am. So yes, my people, today, let me tell you all that you are leaders. Doesn't matter what stage you are in right now. You are a leader, okay? I believe in the law of attraction, okay? I believe in the universal laws, period. Definitely the law of attraction is the one that gets the most attention and popularity, okay? But you have to understand about that law of attraction. It cuts both ways, okay? It cuts both ways, my people. Remember that. It cuts both ways, okay? The law of attraction didn't say the law of only the best goodies, okay? It says the law of attraction, okay? So you got to be doing the right thing so you can attract the right thing, okay? If you're doing the wrong thing, then you're going to attract the wrong thing. The law of attraction is neutral, meaning that it'll bring to you whatever you ask, okay? If you ask for a tiger to come and slice your face, why did I just, I don't know, my mind be off some deep stuff. I don't know what I be talking about sometimes. But you get what I'm trying to get at, right? Make sure you asking for the right things, okay? Ask for what it is that you truly desire, okay? Work towards what it is that you truly want, okay? Seek what it is that will help you to know what you truly want. And with that, I thank you all for being here. Today I'm going to read from a very wonderful book, okay? This book is so concise and to the point. It's a real easy read. I'm going to do it chapter by chapter. And it is going to speak to our hearts as African people and those who love us, okay? Those races of people who love us African people. I am inclusive, okay? I love everybody, and I'm not going to pretend like it's not the truth, okay? I love me, and I love my black people. And so, for that reason, I'm going to read to us from this fantastic book. My people, get ready for this one. This one is real powerful, very straight to the point. It is that wisdom of the ages, okay? It is that understanding of the ages that helps us now, okay? It is that beauty of who it is that we are as African people. It comes to us in a very simple yet profound way that speaks directly to the heart. Okay, it speaks directly to your heart, right to your soul. There's no long winding road to get to it. You ain't gotta walk for years and decades. And no, this is gonna bring you straight to it, straight to the point. No half stepping. And so, the book I'm reading today is The Spirit of Intimacy, Ancient Teachings in the Way of Relationships. In the Ways of Relationships by Sobonfu Some. She, a beautiful woman who was called to come to the West and teach Westerners of the beauty, the simplicity, and the connectedness of those ancient African ways, okay? That traditional way of living in relationship, okay? Now we know African people, especially those who live a village life, are very connected. Okay, we know this. Okay, this is something that everybody knows. So let's listen to a sister who has come all the way from the Dagara tribe of Burkina Faso, Africa, West Africa, and have come all the way to the West to teach us. She did this a long time ago. Her book is still available. I managed to get it for $1. And you see that? $1. Obviously someone didn't really understand what they had with this book. They don't know who she is. They don't know she is the wife of Malidoma Some, who wrote Water and Spirit and a number of other books talking about the same thing, talking about initiation of a black African boy from the ancient tribal ways of living, which are very close to nature and spirit, okay, of Water and Spirit, I believe is the title of his popular book, and he's written others too. But anyway, let me read to us. Very beautiful stuff, okay? Dano, okay? Home to the old ways. Home to the old ways, okay, my people? So let me just say, get comfortable. You deserve to just relax, exhale, breathe, and listen to a story. Listen to a story. This is our culture to tell stories, okay? Many indigenous people told stories, okay? It was a very major way of entertainment because they were very close to nature. They didn't have TV sets. They told stories to each other. They sang, told stories, and did other things. Sat around bonfires and these kinds of very cultural, very spiritual things. And they talked, okay? Language. Tradition of the griot, okay? We know of the griot, right? The Dagara people are mainly associated with the West African coastal countries of Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Togo. Inland from these countries, at their northern border, is Burkina Faso, formerly referred to as Upper Volta. In 1984, the government of Upper Volta decided that its colonial name was too troublesome. So they decided upon a new name, which means the land of the proud ancestors. When in 1882, a European council was sitting in Belgium trying to figure out how to share this big land of Africa, they ended up dividing the Dagara tribe into three different nations. There are a few 100,000 Dagara people in Burkina Faso. There are another few 100,000 in Ghana, and there are a smaller number in the Ivory Coast. This division of people occurred as a result of the arbitrary nature of the colonial powers, who didn't accept tribal communities as nations. Who we are socially or communally is not that different from indigenous communities elsewhere. Maybe what should be mentioned is that we don't have the amenities that one has here in the West, such as electricity or running water. We don't live in houses without cockroaches and such like that. We are very close to the earth and to nature, and that is the gift that we receive from such a place, to be very close to nature. In the village where life is directly inspired by the earth, by the trees, by the hills and rivers, the kind of relationship that exists between man and nature is directly translated in subtle ways in the building of the community and in the relationships that exist between people. When asked where they are from, the group of Dagara people who live in Burkina Faso usually say the village of Dano. This is because even though there are many, many villages in the tribe, Dano is the biggest. But it's nothing like a town by modern standards. It's just a village surrounded by other villages. It's difficult to know how many people live here since we don't count people in Africa. People know each other from village to village, having family and friends in many of these small communities. This comes about through marriage, immigration, and through active neighborhood relationships. In Dano, the streets have no names. There is one main street which comes off a road that connects Dano to the main highway and Ouagadougou, the capital city. It's probably around 300 kilometers to Ouagadougou. If you have your own car, you could probably make it in 3.5 hours. The road out to the main highway is not paved, and you can have lots of big holes and animal and people crossings, so it can take you a long time. And then you have a long drive from that junction into Ouagadougou. Buses travel this road. They stop every 10 miles or so to check in with somebody or to drop somebody off. So it's not steady travel. The thing is, no one seems to be in a hurry. So by bus, it can take you a minimum 6 hours to a whole day to reach the capital. That is, if you don't have any kind of mechanical breakdown. It is what you would call a savanna type of land, mostly hilly grassland with few trees taller than 30 feet. The tallest tree is the baobab tree, which grows really high, about 180 feet. Although it's no longer forest-like, in certain places we do have dense groves of trees, such as the shade tree, which is known for its healing power. The shade tree gives this green, delicious fruit. We eat the fruit and use the nut to make butter. The butter is used by the Dagara people for medicinal purposes and also for cooking and cosmetics. After you live, as I have, in places like Michigan or even Northern California, the weather seems not so cold anymore. But I remember when I lived there, it used to be really cold. I used to think when it dropped into the 70s, it was cold. Now, after living in a climate where the temperature might reach 30 degrees or even lower, 70 degrees is pretty hot. Even though Burkina Faso has 3 relatively large rivers in the area of Dano, there are only seasonal creeks and ponds. These are our sources of drinking water, and we dig wells during the dry season, which starts in November and lasts until mid-June, sometimes July. Then we have to rely only on wells for water to drink. In the driest seasons, you will find a whole village gathered around one well of water, sometimes spending the whole night waiting for the well to fill up. This is because at these times of year, the water comes at certain hours only. Very early in the morning, for example, the water table will be high. Then at noon, the table will be completely at its lowest point. We will have to go at night in order to be there when the water returns. Families with children are served first, together with pregnant women and the elderly. Then everybody else is served last. So even if you had been waiting during the night, if a family with children arrives, they will be served before you. You would call our economy agricultural, perhaps subsistence farming. We produce the food we need to live. We have not done any exporting, even though in recent years the government has been trying to get us to do so. That is, to us, a foreign concept that we have yet to learn to deal with, because we grow exactly what we need and no more. Our main way of trading is to barter, although in the village we also use cowrie shells for money, as well as for divination and healing. These are little white shells that the Dagara people brought from Ghana a long time ago, when the tribe used to live closer to the sea. Cowrie shells are used sort of like gold has been used here. All the French-speaking countries in West Africa, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Senegal, and so forth, also use a regular kind of money called CFA. To get that money, of course, you have to sell things. And if you don't have something to sell, then you basically live without it. You have to stay with the old ways of bartering. The two systems of trade exist side by side. We grow many things. For example, there are 3 different kinds of millet. One of them is called sorghum in the West. We have red and white sorghum, and we have another kind of millet, which is called Z in Dagara. We have red beans, black-eyed peas, peanuts, and we have big African yams. Not the regular yams like you have here, but yams up to 3 feet long, weighing 20 or 30 pounds. And then we have sweet potatoes, 2 different kinds. We raise animals also, chickens, guinea hens, pigs, goats, and lamb. They are raised not only for food, but also for trade. For example, if I have a goat and I need millet, we might negotiate a fair amount of grain for me to receive in return for my goats. We hunt wild animals, but now we mainly see hunting in a context of ritual, such as initiation. It's not like in the old days when people would take 1 or 2 months and go hunting. The whole tribe would go hunting, and then come back home with meat to live on for the year. This has changed only in the past 10 years or so because of political restrictions. Basically, the government is trying to claim the land. Until the 1980s, the land had always been the land of the people. Even though the land was the land of the people, people did not consider it their own. They saw it as spirits, as something that they were just borrowing. Now that the government is regulating the land, you have to pay taxes on it. During colonial times, many things changed in the Dagara people's lives, but matters such as family structure and the way people approach leadership remain much the same. Those who have gone to school in the cities are absolutely affected. They see things completely differently. But most of the villages I know of still have the ways they used to, with a very almost medieval way of leadership. There isn't one chief who is in charge of everything, who gives directions to everybody that they have to follow. We still have a system where elders oversee the village, doing so without a sense of acquiring wealth and power. Power, you see, is understood in the village as very dangerous if not used correctly. So everybody is very cautious about using any kind of power over others. Tribal people are starting to experience immense cultural pressures because of the rural exodus of youth to the cities and their exposure to mass media. Slowly but surely we are seeing, with pain, a gradual reduction of the village population and the import of all these new ideas pertaining to romance and privacy. This is what happens when young people go to the city and then come back. In Africa, at least in the Dagara villages, buildings are mainly there for sleeping, for ritual space, and for storing food. But the actual life of the village is outside. You wouldn't have any particular place where you would go and change a diaper, for instance. It would happen right outside. You would bathe at the river and dress and groom yourself outside. You would go to the bathroom outside and use leaves from a nearby tree. Talk about cultural conflict for those who despise the old ways. In tribal life, one is forced to slow down, to experience the now and commune with the earth and nature. Patience is a must. No one seems to understand the meaning of hurry up. In the village, we have what we refer to as elders. They are the ones who make the decisions of the village. When there is some pressing situation, the elders will get together and try to figure out what should be done. We do not have police or anything like that. We rely mainly on spirits and on the elders for justice. Among the elders, there's a council of 10 that takes care of the rituals and other village concerns. They're a sort of committee within the larger group of elders. What you have to understand is that elders are not attracted to being part of this council because it involves a lot of work. You work for the whole community, and you are not like the person in power who decides everything. People can come any time of the day to get you for help. You can be sleeping. Somebody will knock on your door, and then you have to work. You do not have a choice. This council is selected by all of those who have gone through the elder initiation. They are selected according to the Dagara elemental grounding forces of the universe. They are selected according to the Dagara elemental grounding forces of the universe. We have 5 different elements: earth, water, mineral, fire, and nature. Each one of these elements is represented on the council by a woman and a man. The council is thus made up of 5 females and 5 male elders. The element earth is responsible for our groundedness, our sense of identity, and our ability to nurture and to support one another. Water is peace, focus, wisdom, and reconciliation. Mineral helps us to remember our purpose and gives us the means to communicate and to make sense out of what others are saying. Fire is about dreaming, keeping our connection to the self and to the ancestors, and keeping our visions alive. Nature helps us to be our true self, to go through major changes in life-threatening situations. It brings magic and laughter. When a member of the Council of Elders dies, and they need, for example, a new water female, all the initiated elders gather to select a new water female for the council. And actually, you have to lobby a lot in order to find another elder, because this is no 9-to-5 job where you can let yourself be content with things. The family in Africa is always extended. You would never refer to your cousin as cousin, because that would be an insult. So your cousins are your sisters and brothers. Your nieces are your children. Your uncles are your fathers. Your aunts are your mothers. Children are also encouraged to call other people outside the family mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers. In the village, extended families live in the same compound. The women sleep on one side of the house and the men on the other. The children are allowed to sleep wherever they feel like. They are not restricted until they reach adolescence. They can sleep with the women today, move to the men's quarters tomorrow, or sleep with their grandfather or grandmother, and so on. This big concept of the family is really helpful. I remember when I was a kid, I had the choice of a different father every day, or just depending on my mood. So, if I wanted one of my uncles to be my father for the day, I would just ignore the others. And the others wouldn't take it personally, because they saw it as an opportunity for the child to decide what she or he wants. It also allows a large number of people in the village to acknowledge the child and to see her or his spirit. Alright, my people, and so that's the first chapter, Dano, and the second chapter that I will read following is A Song of Spirit. So make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the You Are Leaders channel, so you can follow this story of the Spirit of Intimacy by Sobonfu Some In. Okay, that ancient African wisdom, okay, that sustained the people back in those days. Okay, it is what the people built their lives on. Okay, and their wisdom was deeply connected to nature and to spirit. Okay, the spirit of intimacy. She's going to soon talk about relationships and how they are connected to spirit, and she makes a comparison between her village, the ways of the village, compared to what she has seen being here in the West. Okay, all right, my people, like, share, and subscribe as I just stated. Remember this, you are leaders. Okay, And you must also and always be connected to spirit yourselves, all right? So that you can manifest your leadership in the best way possible for you, okay? Make sure you come back. Peace and love to you.